Jack had always loved watching late-night horror films on his old TV set. One evening, while watching a black and white film, the screen began to flicker. It wasn't unusual at first, but when it stopped flickering, Jack noticed something horrifying. The scene on the screen had changed, now showing his own living room with the same old TV set he was watching. Even more terrifying, the image on the screen showed a figure sitting on his couch, staring directly at him. Jack quickly turned around, but the room was empty. His heart raced as he turned back to the TV, and the figure was gone. A chill ran down his spine when he heard the static hum of the TV whispering, "Turn off the screen." The next day, he told his friend Emma about it. She laughed it off, but that night, she watched the same broadcast with Jack. As the same figure appeared on the screen, Emma gasped, "It's not just a TV, it's real." Sophie was watching a late-night mystery show in her apartment in New York. As the show progressed, she noticed something strange. The characters on the screen kept looking over their shoulders, as if they were being watched. At first, she thought it was part of the plot, but soon it became too unsettling. As Sophie glanced behind her, she felt a cold breeze and turned around to find the window was open. She immediately closed it, but something still felt off. When she looked back at the screen, the characters were looking directly at her, and one whispered, "We see you." The room fell silent. Sophie rushed to turn off the TV, but the whispering continued in the static. Later that night, her friend Carlos came over, and she explained the eerie experience. He didn't believe her until, while watching the same show, he heard the same voice whisper, "We see you too." Aidan, living alone in his small apartment in Toronto, was watching a crime documentary late at night. The film was showing a police investigation, and as the camera zoomed in on the crime scene, Aidan thought he saw a shadow move across the screen. Confused, he rewound the footage, but the shadow was gone. Shrugging it off, he kept watching. As the documentary continued, Aidan noticed a figure in the background of the crime scene. It wasn't one of the detectives or officers, but a tall, dark figure standing in the corner of the room. Aidan's heart raced as he tried to get a better look. He paused the footage, but the figure was gone. Yet, when he looked up from his screen, he saw the same figure standing in his own apartment, in the corner of the room. Clara loved watching paranormal shows, especially the ones about haunted houses. One night, she settled in to watch a new episode of her favorite series, but something was different. The show began by documenting a haunted house in a small town. As the camera panned across the old, dilapidated house, Clara saw an eerie reflection in the broken mirror in the hallway on the screen. The reflection wasn't of the camera crew. There was a woman standing in the mirror. She was dressed in old-fashioned clothes and had a chilling smile on her face. Clara froze. She quickly turned her head to check her own apartment, but when she looked back at the TV, the woman in the mirror was now standing in her living room, staring back at her. Shaking, Clara grabbed her phone and called her friend Lily. As she described what she saw, Lily told her not to look back at the screen. But Clara couldn't resist, and when she did, the woman in the mirror was gone. James, a journalist from London, was researching a mysterious case for his latest article. He spent hours watching old videos and news reports, when suddenly, an old broadcast from the 1980s appeared on his TV. It was a news segment about a missing persons case, but it wasn't one he had ever heard of. The strange part was that as the reporter spoke, the image of a young woman in the background seemed to shift. It looked like she was staring directly at James. His screen flickered and static filled the air. The reporter's voice suddenly cut off, replaced by a chilling whisper, "Help me." Terrified, James quickly turned off the TV, but the whispers continued in his ears. He called his friend Mia, and as she sat down with him to watch the footage again, the same woman appeared on the screen, reaching out towards them.